All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Dawg House Podcast with your host, JayRod and
JDawg.
What is going on? I leave tomorrow morning. I'll be headed over to Costa Mesa, California, where I will be competing.
Tomorrow? I thought it was a little bit later than that.
No, I fly out tomorrow.
What? Do you know what time?
I know early, so I can't train.
Yeah.
And I couldn't afford the flights that was straight through, so it's too much. It's too expensive.
Flying, guys.
It's expensive. It's expensive. But yeah. By the time this is released, you guys will be hopefully have seen that event and
the match. Yeah, the match had already
seen.
Hopefully it's good.
Yeah, hopefully it's good. I guess drop a comment down below what you thought of the match.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all. I've just been training consistently, of course. Camp has been good. Training hard as best as I can, and yeah, I feel good.
What's the do you have kind of like a blueprint or game plan of once you get, not the match, but just like once you get there? Are you training at AOJ before your match, after your match? Do you know what you're doing once you get there yet?
Well, hopefully, well, I probably won't train the day I travel because
when are weigh-ins? You weigh in day before?
Day before, yeah. Nick told me not to train the day before. I don't know why. I guess he explained why, but I don't necessarily agree with it, but I'm going to listen to him because he said so, and obviously his, words have value. So yeah, I won't be training the day I travel, which is tomorrow, but Thursday I will train at AOJ. I'll get some training in with Tynan and hopefully some other guys, high level guys over there. So it should be obviously very high level training, as well as a good time.
Yeah.
So that'll be a cool experience training with those guys, and then right after that, do media stuff, weigh-ins, and then just get a nice meal in before the competition, and then chill.
If you had to say the closest person at B-Team that would imitate Ronaldo's style, who would it be?
Probably Nick Mattia.
Really?
I would assume so. Yeah, I mean, both guys want to be on top.
True. I think Nick's definitely way more like attack heavy on the feet than Ronaldo.
Absolutely.
I could see it.
I mean, it's not many people have a similar style to Ronaldo at B-Team specifically, because at B-Team everyone is like very offensive.
Yeah.
And I feel
That's
like
true.
this
People
guy
are very offensive in B-Team.
Of course.
Very offensive.
And that just stems from, I don't know, wanting to actually do jiu-jitsu.
I think it's like if you notice, this could be a hole at B-Team that we need to fix, or I don't know, but most gyms,
it's not a hole.
It's not a hole.
Mm-mm.
I was going to say that we practice 99% attacking and like 1% defense. So we rarely practice getting out of submissions, out of bad positions. It's a lot of attacking.
Yeah.
So people are always working on like offensive stuff. So when you go live, it's just like
attack.
People are always attacking.
Yes. But think about this. If everyone's attacking, if you're attacking me, I have to defend.
Yeah.
So in turn, I am defending, even if it's for just like a split second.
It's like that. It's like that saying, good defense is good offense.
Yeah.
It's kind of true, because I find myself in predicaments when the person's always attacking. It's like, shit, I can't
counter.
I can't get stuff going because they're always attacking.
Yeah, I think it's not necessarily a hole. I think it's just a style. Because if you go to, I'm assuming AOJ, it's, they're gonna have similar styles to Tynan, where they're playing bottom and they're playing daily heave, etc. And then if you go to Planet. They're gonna be doing like rubber guard, whatever. Everyone has their own like style. Have you trained with? This is a great example. Have you trained with Jet?
Not this time around, but I have trained with him before. When he's come before.
Well, one, you should. But two, he's a great example of just a drastically different style in the gym. You train with 99% of the guys in the gym, and they all have like, even if someone's playing like bottom, it's just a different style compared to someone like Jet, where it's like, okay, what's his last name?
Thomas.
Jet Thomas or Thompson.
Thompson or something like that, I think.
Yeah, for you guys that don't know, Jet Thompson or I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but he's been training with us for the past week, and he's very good. He's very good.
Yeah,
he's very
good.
Strong. He like body locked me, and I was like, oh fuck, I have to like defend this. But with Styles, it's a matter of like his style is drastically different to anyone in the room. Yeah, it's like.
Could you put a finger on why?
Absolutely, yeah. He's doing things like playing. He's looking for like close guard and like being offensive from there. Yeah, he
almost has like a
back takes from there and stuff.
Yeah, he almost has like an IBJJF style guard where it's like he's attacking like arm bars and stuff like from guard.
Yeah. But he's attacking. That's the difference.
Oh yeah.
He's not like fucking looking for points or like no gay shit at all.
Yeah.
It's a very fun round. And he's very talented and also super young. I'm not sure how young he is, but I've heard that he's young. So. That's sick.
Yeah, I think he's 18.
Yeah, that's crazy.
17, 18.
He also has a full-grown beard.
17,
I can't grow any facial hair at all.
Yeah.
I'm about to be 23 years old. I can't grow any.
Thick.
Yeah.
He says he weighed. You know how much he weighs?
I want to say
he said he weighed like the same weight as you.
No, I think it was like just under 170 or something. I think it's your weight.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He said he's like 179. So he's a bit lighter than you.
No, I was 176 after training.
Well, then he's heavier than you. Because he said he's like 178, 79. There's no way we're the same size. I do not look nowhere near as big as him. You can say I do. That'd make my day.
I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe we are similar or identical weights.
He's pretty thick and he's taller.
Yeah. I guess so. But yeah, that's just a perfect example of something that just a drastically different style.
Yeah, you roll with him before he leaves.
Yeah, you definitely should. But I love training with someone like that because you get to see or exchange or experience those different styles. Someone that is looking for shoulder crunches and looking for back exposure from close guard and stuff like that. I think that's sick.
Sometimes it gives you a better chance to work more of your stuff too, because you're not always going against someone who knows your style and knows what you're going to do.
Yeah. So it's just you like in training, a lot of times when you train with the same partners over and over and over again, you have similar paths that you take throughout all of these exchanges. And then when you go with someone that you've never trained with before, for example, Jet, it does come drastically different stuff. It's like, whoa, this is a whole new. Yeah, it's fun. It's very fun.
Yeah.
Very fun to experience. But he's good. You should train with him.
Yeah. I would. I'm just scared.
He's good. What was it? Yeah, after training. I was 176. So I'm a bit underweight for this competition. Competition's at 185.
Yeah. You gotta eat some boba.
Yeah, I gotta eat something. I was recovering from being sick, and I was like, I'm like losing weight, and I'm gonna order 2 pizzas and just eat everything. Ate everything. I just realized
this will come out after the match. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, guys. I'm not gonna say. I don't want to relive these things. No. But I was sick.
You are lighter. He was.
I lost 10 pounds pretty much.
Yeah, he was only 10 pounds heavier than me, which is normally like 20 over.
I'm usually 185.
Yeah.
And I just got done training, given that's after training, but still 176 after
Damn,
training.
176 after practice?
Yeah.
Fuck. That's light.
That's very late. That's very late for me.
Light for you, yeah.
Yeah. It's frustrating. It's hard to gain weight. It's really hard to gain weight.
It is, dude. That's what I'm saying.
It's fucking hard.
If like the natural way of gaining weight is you almost, like how Damien said today, he was like, you don't look like you'd have a six-pack under my nogi set. Because when I start getting, like, if I'm walking around like 165, 164 compared to like 169 and 170, I mean, I lift heavy. I lift pretty heavy. But if you get bigger naturally, you're going to put on more just water and fat naturally on top of the muscle. And so then you build up, you get like, bulking, and then you cut down and you gain like 2 pounds of muscle. Some of these people, it's like, how are you gaining weight so easy? Like, how are you getting, not only gaining weight, but you're gaining weight and you don't look pudgy? That is so hard.
Yeah,
that is so hard.
I think that is a thing that's heavy with genetics as well.
Yeah.
Because like I was talking to Nick about gaining weight and whatnot, and he was like, I mean, like, just bulk, eat more.
Yeah.
And I was like, brother, I'm not doing a dirty bulk. Because that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Two, I don't want to get fat. I don't want to look like shit. 3, I'm probably going to feel like shit if I get fat. 4, if I'm doing a dirty bulk, the food is dirty.
5, 6. I'm not doing it.
But I mean, I eat clean.
That's
food.
the thing, though. People say genetics, and I'm like, genetics can't defy science,
brother.
Like,
bro, okay.
You ain't gaining 20 pounds, and you haven't put in your fat percentage in your body hasn't budged. Like, bro,
there are people out there that are capable of these things.
Really?
We know these people.
Yeah.
There's one on my mind right now that I can't think of anyone else.
Well, people remember back when Arnold Schwarzenegger was like entering into bodybuilding. What everyone kept, if you remember what people kept saying about Arnold, they're like, man, he's got such good genetics. He's got such good genetics. Look at his arms. He's such natural genetics. Then you find out he's blasting like 5 different things of gear. But for a long time, people thought like he had genetics like that. And There's like
no fucking chance. Well, maybe they were hiding the fucking. I think there's 2 parts to that. There's the people that don't believe that they were doing or were unaware that they were doing steroids, as well as there's another side of it where they are aware that people like him are doing steroids, but then they're saying his genetics are good, as in like his physical like build, like how his like there's people's our biceps, like mine and Nicky Rod's biceps, we have a much higher peak than other people, because some people's biceps, they come all the way down to the forearm, whereas when we flex, we have about like 2 or 3 inches of just like, nothing. So it's like massive peaks.
Yeah, I guess that's true. They're like,
there's people with like chests that like their muscles start like over here, whereas there's people that their muscles are touching. This is a much more preferred like and that's considered like genetics. So that could be like some of these people are saying, okay, this is, he's genetically blessed. Yes. And then there's people that are like, oh, he's massive. No, he's also taking steroids.
So it's a mixture of the two.
There's just a difference.
And for Arnold's sake, the mixture of the two just gave him 9 Mr. Olympian titles. Because
I mean, anyone can just blast gear, but if you have a terrible physique or if you don't put in the work,
much,
I mean, at the end of the day, what are they even judging? They're not judging sheer size, are they?
I don't know. It depends on what division you're in, but I do have weight classes for bodybuilding, I believe. So, but I remember a lot of people were talking about, you've heard of Ronnie
Ronnie
Coleman, the big black guy.
Yep.
A lot of people give a lot of his credit to winning was that he was just a big. So not only was he cut, but he was just big. And so some people say like that did have a factor into a lot of stuff whenever he'd win. But I think that was only like the open class. He would be bigger, but there are weight classes. So
yeah, I'm not sure.
That's a sucky sport, dude.
Yeah, I mean they just
that's a sucky sport.
Fucking yeah, that's a crazy sport.
It kind of is, dude.
They just abuse steroids and cut weight like
I've seen a lot of wrestlers go into bodybuilding.
It's kind of similar, fucking.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. I think that's why they go into it. But I've had a few buddies of mine from tech wrestling. Mm-hmm. They either stopped wrestling in college or after college they went into bodybuilding, dude. And it's just like, fuck, like that looks brutal, and it's brutal as far as the actual stuff you're doing, but almost just looks brutal on your body. Because like you said, it's just that's just a culture or a sport. It's like everyone's blasting gear. You have to, and it's like those guys blast it. And on top of that, you're cutting weight and you're competing all the time, so you're always on gear. And this guy's beating you because he takes more than you, so you gotta take more. Yeah, and it's just like, do you see so many bodybuilders just dying? they're just going full sin until they die, dude. It's like, damn, that's rough.
That's scary.
You see Ronnie Coleman now just can't walk.
Yeah, that was due to his excessive
lifting.
Lifting is crazy, like deadlifting and stuff like that.
Squatting like 900 pounds, just.
That's crazy.
And they say gear doesn't give you an advantage.
That's crazy.
Bro, I'm not squatting 900 pounds, dude.
Can you
big
bench 225?
Yeah.
Is 225 two plates?
Yeah.
I've never benched 225.
I can bench 285.
What? You've done 285 before?
Yeah, I do it just about every other week. I'm a strong motherfucker.
Oh fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah, only for one.
That's still crazy. I couldn't do 225.
I think I could break 300 if I had a spotter.
Fuck.
But I'm always afraid to, just because.
That's scary.
Yeah. You go up when you start getting to like 265, 275. You go up by just 5 pounds, dude. It's just like, it just doesn't budge.
Yeah. I wonder if I could do 225 like right now.
I think you could.
I don't know. It's probably a bad idea. 2 days before, 3 days before competition. Maybe I'll do it after.
Let's take the cameras to the garage.
Maybe one of these days I'll try her out.
I'm going to hold it some, okay?
You have to put it all the way in.
Okay. Just breathe out if...
Mom, can you just do it?
I know I shouldn't curse in front of my mom, but cauliflower ear sucks. I use Cauliflower ear magnets. I really wish I would have had these magnets, but my ears were messed up. These keep my cauliflower ear at bay. They're the original and best quality cauliflower ear magnets on the market. Step 1, drain your ear. Step 2, pick your buds. Step 3, put them on your ear. Make the right decision. Invest in these collie buds so your ears don't look like chicken nuggets like mine. Check them out on Amazon or colliebuds.com. I had ears. Train with your buds.
Yeah, just yesterday I was lifting. I hate lifting at night, dude. I hate it.
Yeah.
I used to do it all the time.
I used to do it every day.
Yep. I used to I used to lift late at night in college.
Should bring back PTSD.
I know. And then Brady and I were in high school. We'd lift really, really late. And I hated it. I used to do it then, but now I hate it. But last night, because I've been so busy with the gym and stuff, I haven't been getting as many openings during the middle of the day to lift. So I've been having to start to do it at night. I don't want to do it, but I have to. And so last night I was lifting at 10:30 at night, which I hate doing. Ugh. I know. It's just like, because once I'm done, it's like I gotta go to bed. Yeah. It's like, I hate that feeling. Yeah. But I was freaking Zercher squatting like 300, like 285, 300, which basically you hold the bar. Like
you go ass to grass.
I'm not going ass to grass, but
can you go like frog? Can you get into frog stance? Go ass to grass.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like
I would assume you can.
Like here.
Yeah.
blow my hip out, but I can
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't make the hips feel
I
the
think,
best.
and Nick was telling me,
Mattia?
yeah, I can't remember if it was his. Someone told me he was like Zercher squatting, like, dare I say 450 or 500, and I was like,
I believe it. I believe
what?
it. Dude, I throw him.
You
like,
hold 500 pounds in your arms? You're holding a male lion
That's crazy.
like this.
That's crazy.
Baby.
Yeah.
My gosh, that's crazy.
I
So strong, dude.
He's fucking strong. He is fucking strong. I threw him today, and mid throw he just like I'm talking like this was a good throw. This is a good setup, good throw. I insert my hips fucking spot on. This guy is fucking ass over fucking head over biscuit. This guy is, and he just twists in a way mid fucking air, and he was just able to. And as I felt him twist, and I yelled at him. I said, "Go down, you bastard!"
Oh, I heard that. Yeah.
Because I fucking knew the moment he did that little twist, I was like, "Oh, this motherfucker's
He's
not going
very
down."
isometrically strong. Like his body is.
Well, is that
Isometrical means like when you can't use other parts of your body to. So you ever have like a compound lift? So like a deadlift is a compound lift because you're using your back, your butt, your glutes. Mm-hmm. You can put him in a position where like he can't activate other muscles to help move his arm, and he'll still be able to move his arm. So that's like isometrical strength. Mm-hmm. That's the type of strength he has. It's very hard to deal with because you'll put him in a position where you're supposed to have the leverage. You're supposed to have
the fuck up.
Yeah, you're supposed to have the leverage and power.
Yeah.
But he'll still be able to combat against the same amount of strength you're putting out, even though you have the leverage.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to. Because he has that strength, it's hard to deal with it. It's hard to you'll have him like you said, you'll have him dead to rights, and you'll still be able to like tense up in a way where it's like you meet like equal force. You're like, what the fuck? Like, I'm supposed to be moving you here.
Yeah.
So and on top of that, being athletic and quick and good technique, it's like
and
fuck.
like smart.
Yeah.
Smart, like knowing where to fucking move and shit.
Yep.
It is really awesome to see his like rapid progression and be like one of his main training partners throughout this. Mm-hmm. Remember when I first saw him start coming into B-Team, I was actually out for like 3 months with my collarbone.
Oh, really?
So this was like right after the first ADCC. A couple months after that, I broke my collarbone, so I was just sitting on the sidelines. And JB is like, "Hey, this wrestler kid, he's really good. You know, I can't wait for you guys to heal up and then train." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever."
I'll beat this dude's ass.
Yeah, I mean, and I did because he was not as good as he is now. And also, JB says that relatively often sometimes, and sometimes the people aren't that good. So it's just like,
yeah.
And then Nick Mattia, he just got really good really quickly, and it's awesome to see. I say it fucking so much here, but I know like eventually he will have like some sort of breakthrough competitively. Just a matter of time.
Just got to keep banging at the door.
Yeah, and like just to take advantage of whatever offers could come his way. It almost reminds me of I don't know why this just came to mind. Did Hillbilly Hammer fight someone on very short notice, like William Tackett or something, and win? And then
it's like ringing a bell. I don't know if it was against William, but I do remember him taking a match like a week before, and him talking about it in an interview at Who's Number One.
Yeah. I can't remember right now.
What's your point?
Well, it's just like eventually, is some sort of offer can come his way, something like that. Hey, especially like, whatever next event, big. So say there's a Who's Number One in Austin, and they're like, hey, we had these 185ers, fucking this match set up, but this guy pulled out, and you're local. We don't have to pay for your flights. We don't have to pay for your hotel.
Yeah. Just
here's an
hop in
offer.
here. I used to believe that it's like sometimes all it takes is one opportunity, right? Like you get that opportunity, take it.
Yeah.
But I feel like in the sport of jiu-jitsu, that's not the case.
What do you mean?
I feel like you could beat someone good or even a big name or clout, and even though you did it once, no one really gives a shit. No one really cares, unless maybe it's like a tip of the spear guy. But I don't know. I feel like in jiu-jitsu, it's like you could beat someone, and if you're not part of the right team, or if it wasn't for the right event, it kind of gets thrown under the rug a little bit. Unless you do it again and again and again, then it's like, okay, now we have to shine light on this person. But I've seen there's been some people who have beaten some guys that I've seen. I was there Matt's side, and I'm like, did no one see this?
Yeah.
Like, this guy just beat Alvertaza, and no one knows who the hell this guy is.
Yeah.
This guy just subbed Asari. This guy beat so-and-so, and everyone's just like, yeah, but we don't care. And so it's like you have to know the right people almost to capitalize on your opportunity.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe a bit of it is a common word used nowadays, aura.
But yeah.
I think that's a big factor. Yeah. Whether people like to say it or not. And I think some people go about it just the wrong way. And to each his own at the end of the day, but a lot of people like to push like negative narratives. Like they just talk a bunch of shit. And then they just continue to stay on the local scene, and it's like, what isn't working out here? A few people pop into my head. Obviously, I'm not gonna name names here, but it's just like, oh, I beat this guy in this tournament, and I deserve this. I deserve to be ranked. I deserve to be mentioned. I deserve to be posted. It's like, this is a very weird. Maybe it's not necessarily weird, but it's just like, definitely not the approach I would take.
So it's like
if you beat the guy, fucking make your post. Boys, just beat a fucking highly ranked guy.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. And then fucking move on. Do it again.
Instead of crying.
Yeah.
Almost like turn it into like a meme moment. Or like a poor meme moment. Like, oh, I beat him and this should have happened. Or
Flow hates me because
they didn't post it. Okay. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, so it's like you got the opportunity. Maybe you won or you beat someone, but the like afterwards you didn't handle it correctly to really capitalize on the moment.
Yeah, and like you said, I do think there are other factors as well, like the team you're training with and whatnot. Where if you're training at a random gym out in buttfuck versus a big well known gym, like a B-Team. Obviously, there might be a little bit more media coverage and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, to each his own. I would, make my social media post, not talk shit, not complain about fucking people not posting and shit.
Because the first person that came to my mind when I said this, I can name a few names, but the first one that came to my mind was that guy Bobby Winther, the Navy SEAL.
Okay.
He's beaten Alvertaza multiple times. He's beaten AJ Agazar multiple times.
And he's chill. Doesn't post about it or anything.
And no one
doesn't
cares.
push it. He's like, I want to go do MMA, right?
I think he did post. I think he posted the wins on his social media, and it just no one cared. It was just like, we don't really care. And it was like, bruh. Not only did he beat a really high level guy, but he did it multiple times. Yeah. And people were still like, they just didn't care. And I was like, damn, dude. Like, that kind of sucks. Like, he's a dog, man. Yeah. And he had like a crazy overtime match with Elijah Dorsey. I think in the quarters or semis at ACC trials before Elijah faced Nicky Ryan.
Who's Elijah Dorsey?
The guy who beat Nicky Ryan in the ACC trials finals. The black guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, this guy is beating Alvertaza multiple times, takes out AJ Agazar at trials, has an absolute crazy barn burner match with Elijah Dorsey, taking his back, scoring on him, blah, 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 crazy back and forth match. And people will be like, oh, yeah, Bobby Winther. They'll be like, who's that?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. That's just jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I'm like, that's just jiu-jitsu. You have to play it. You got to play it right. Yeah. You got to play it right, or you could miss it.
Yeah. It is frustrating. It's just kind of the way it is. sometimes. Also, it makes you wonder why other people, if it's not working for these people, why is it working?
Yeah, because obviously someone did have that opportunity, beat that guy, and then blew up. So what would they do differently?
What was different for me?
Yeah.
Like I won trials, but I didn't. Young, I guess. Young,
only been training for 3 years.
I mean, that's for trials.
Blue belt.
For trials, I was only training.
You were like the first version of like a Dorian.
Yeah.
Wow, young blue belt comes in, wins trials. Like, oh my god. So like
we're both just versions of Nicky Rod.
Yeah. And so I think you specifically, it was more so not who you beat, but the story.
Yeah.
You know, it was the story off the mat. Oh, he's young. He's hasn't been training long. He's a blue belt, and he still beats these guys.
Yeah.
You know, I think some of these other guys may beat these high level guys, but they don't really have a story.
Yeah.
You know,
they're just like guys that have been fucking training forever.
Mm-hmm. And people are probably already looking to hate on you because you have a very successful older brother. So everyone's sitting there waiting to be like, "Oh, you're the lesser half." Yeah. You know what I mean? You're lesser half. And so then I am. So then when you win, it's just like, "Oh, wow,
fuck.
There's a story now." You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
So I think that for you specifically, that's had a lot to do with it. I think. And then you just built off from that from there on.
Yeah, I'm doing my best. I've lost a lot of matches. I've lost a lot.
You're one of the few people who could lose a match
and gain fans.
It's almost like it's almost like reversed for you. You lose a match, no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
You win a match, everyone's like, no.
It actually doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's
why?
That's a good position to be in.
It's I mean, I put myself here to an extent, right? Like people have this feeling towards me because of my performances more than anything else.
I think they're going to project what they see out of you too. So
what do you mean by that? So,
you know, you see some people lose a match and they'll instantly start throwing excuses. You know, they'll be like, fucking this or that, my tummy hurts. So start throwing stuff out like that. Yeah. Or anytime you lose a match, it's like, yeah. So the fans react the same way. You know what I mean? They start being like, oh, well, they'll think the same thing you think. Yeah. If you get crazy, get pissed, and they're going to get crazy, they're going to get pissed. But if you're just nonchalant about it, they're going to be the same way. Yeah. I feel like.
Yeah. I don't try to necessarily avoid obviously to each his own when it comes to competitors. I don't necessarily try to avoid talking about losses and whatnot. Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing too.
I don't know why I do that.
I think I don't know why either.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just comfortable with it. I
think
guess
it's a good thing though.
I think it's healthy.
It's healthy. It's healthier. People respect that a little bit of just, basically someone who, you post, someone who posts their rounds in practice and they also post the times where they get submitted or they get beat or they get thrown. Yeah. It just shows even more so that bothering or losing, whether it's in practice or in competition, doesn't bother me at all. So it shouldn't bother y'all either. Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about, I saw something. Maybe it does bother you, but you project it otherwise. Yeah, for sure. It definitely, it depends on my performance more than anything else. And I was reading a quote and it reminded me of the three things that you talk about. The quote was, I think I might have a screenshot of it, but my thought from reading the quote was, okay, if this person can attack my flesh as much as he wants, but he can, no matter what, he can never, get to my faith, essentially. And that reminded me of the three things you were talking about, the faith, it was spirit, mental, physical. Spirit, mental, and physical. So obviously we're going to go out there and have a physical battle, and that's what everyone's going to see and whatnot. But obviously within that, there's also a mental battle on top of a physical battle. And obviously I plan on
sure plan on winning, all three of these things. But what was the thing you'd say? Okay, you could lose one or two of these things.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I was like, dude, I low key cooked when I made that post, and I 100. A lot of the stuff I think of does bounce off from stuff I've heard and learned from other people, but that was like one of the few things that I came up with completely by myself. Yeah. Just from the trip in Kazakhstan alone, kind of somehow brought that into my head. I wish I lived more so by it, to be honest. I've kind of faded away from that.
How so?
I don't know. Putting too much emphasis on the physical, I think.
Steers you away from
everything else. Yeah. Exactly. So I think sometimes I sometimes I kind of forget I said that sometimes, and I need to remind myself, like, you're putting too much emphasis on one specific thing. Yeah. But anyways, when I originally thought of that, it was like, you have 3 battles, and if you can always win 2 out of the 3, then that's a good day. Yeah. If you can always win 2 out of the 3, then that's a win. Yeah. Maybe I lost physically, but he didn't break me. I was in the match the whole time, no matter what the score was, and regardless, no matter how the match goes, I'll walk off the mat grateful. Yeah. He never broke my spirit as far as doubting my faith, because I lost when I asked you not to make me lose. Now my spirit's breaking. But if 2 of those stay intact, whether it be maybe I break mentally, but I win physically, my spiritually, as long as you win 2 out of the 3, it's like, hell, that's a dub in my head.
Absolutely.
But sometimes it's hard to stay on that, because I get into a rut of thinking or almost knowing that other people don't think like me. So as much as I believe this, other people will still harp and emphasize on the physical, which may not matter, but it kind of does, because it's like at the end of the day, what you are is what people believe you are.
To an extent, because
I had this conversation a few days ago about this topic, which is a very interesting topic. Is like, the truth is what people think the truth is. Whether they could be wrong. But if everyone thinks it, then your whole life will be
affected by
that truth. Exactly. Yeah. So it's like
so-called.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's like, well, the physical doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. It's like, but if everyone else thinks it matters, then it kind of does matter. Yeah. Because whether you... if I lost this is an extreme example, but if I've lost every match I've ever competed in my life, but I'm like, but I never broke mentally, never broke spiritually, no one give a shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they focus on that. Yeah. So it's hard to really indulge into that mindset and really not care when you're like, if other people care, then I kind of have to care, because that's going to be the truth. Yeah. So it's hard. It's hard to deal with that. But
I agree.
It's a very, you just got to play the line.
Yeah. It's a thin line.
But you hope by having that mindset and doing things correctly that in the long run it actually makes you win more. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's a mindset that kind of sets you up. It's kind of like the whole Penn State mindset of like, we don't care about winning and losing. We just care about performance. Like, well, easy for you to say, because if I lose, then the whole crowd no longer supports me, or they don't think I'm as good, or I don't get as many opportunities. But it's like, you're right. But if you don't focus, trust me, if you don't focus on it, you'll actually win more. Yeah. Right? It's like jumping off a cliff and not knowing what's at the bottom. And someone's like, trust me, there's water at the bottom. You just can't see it. It's like, no, if I jump, I'm going to die. It's like, no, there's water there. Yeah. It's the same mindset. It's like, just trust it. Just worry about your performance. Don't worry about winning or losing, and you'll actually win more. It's literally another version. I can see why Penn State indulges in that mindset so much, because it really is a leap of faith. Of completely detaching away from
performance
over winning or losing. Yeah, because growing up, people always harp on
outcome driven.
Because people always harp on, you gotta dominate, you gotta win. Go out there, tech fall the guy, blah blah blah, and then now you have the best team in the country being like,
Jesus told me.
Yeah, Jesus told me otherwise, dog. Yeah. He told me I ain't got tech fall.
Yeah. Jesus told me to go out there and have fun.
Yeah, have fun.
And I did.
Have fun. He's allowing me to be out there. So whatever happens, you got to realize at the end of the day, it's like, hell, I should just be grateful I'm on the mat. Yeah. Which I got really pissed off today. I almost left practice there, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I'm almost
Bro, yesterday was the first day I ever.
Almost cried.
I don't want to say this. I almost cried yesterday.
I almost cried today, dude.
It's been years since I almost cried.
Yeah, I was like laying on the mat, and like Steven walks around the mat and looks at me, and he's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Nah."
Leave me alone.
Yeah, and he's like, "You sure you okay?" I was like, "I just told you I'm not." I just told you I'm not, brother. I was just so pissed, just because.
What was happening?
Dude, I just feel like turn the cameras off.
Oh fuck!
It was just on top of just everything I'm trying to do, as far as just work and stress, but specifically with jiu-jitsu, I just feel like I'm just doing the same shit every day. As far as just like, I can almost predict how my round's going to go with everybody I go with.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to be, he's going to do this, I'm going to do this, I can't move that leg, I can't move this arm, blah, 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 blah. And so it's like, from an outside perspective, people be like, oh, you're having competitive rounds with Ethan, or you can score on.
That's like simple-minded though.
Yeah, it's like I'm no longer content with that.
Yeah.
I've been here for over 2 fucking years now.
Yeah.
Over 2 fucking years.
Yeah.
And I still can't fucking submit this guy.
Yeah.
That pisses me off.
I can't move this guy's leg to opposite side. I can get him on the other fucking hip.
It got me so frustrated today. I was like, I just need to leave, because I'm just like, I'm just not satisfied anymore with my performance.
Yeah.
Like it's gotten down to that, and it's like, so today it was just that day where I really noticed, just like halfway through the round, I just noticed like, this is the same fucking shit. Like, it's the same fucking shit. I can't, and like, and then maybe I pass this guy's guard, maybe I get a submission every once in a while. That's still the same shit. You know what I mean? It's still well, you got him. It's like, yeah, and it'll be another 3 weeks till I get him again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's starting to piss me off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think you need to focus on, obviously you have a lot of shit going on with the gym and everything. But I do think you need to focus on just general stuff. Obviously, we've talked about this before, but inserting hooks and securing them accordingly, and then attacking the back, because you have a great ability, obviously, to take people down and create back exposure. But it's fucking as frustrating as it is, and in a room like fucking B-Team, it's very hard to get hooks in.
Well, what's frustrating is I can do it on 99% of the guys in the room.
Yeah.
You name the person, I can take their back. I can score on them in some way.
Yeah.
Except for like 2 or 3 of the same people.
Who is it?
Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying
that slinky motherfucker.
I'm not saying I can't score these people. I've scored on them plenty of times, but the number of times I've scored on them has been the same for a long time.
Yeah. Right?
Right?
It's not consistently progressing or anything. It's
I think I've subbed Ethan once in 2.5 years.
Yeah.
It's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, so Ethan, he's always like the boss to beat in Elden Ring, of like, fucking gotta get your ass.
Yeah. He's like the weird boss that like moves.
He's just good.
He's got a weird
He's so strong, dude. Like I just try to move him. It's just like
he's like the one that like spins aggressively.
Yeah. And then Ant's guard is just this unbreakable wall. I can't get past. Yes, dude. And there was a time where I could score on him more. There was a time. That's all I'm gonna say.
And that time has passed.
The time has passed.
Yeah.
And even when the time where I've submitted him a decent amount of times in practice. I can get him, but it's always from a specific situation. And if it's not this situation, then I'm not fucking scoring on him.
Yeah.
Right. It's like if I can bait him to come to his feet, I'm ducking him, I'm getting to his back, and I can get my boots and I can get to a submission.
Yeah.
Or from a front headlock. If I can somehow get him snap down, I can get submission. I can submit him from that position or get to his back. But if he decides to just completely pull guard and don't try and wrestle up or anything, just pull guard, it's just like, all right, here we go. Here goes 10 minutes of me just dicking around.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And then Damien, we have good rounds. I mean, we did EBI round. We both subbed each other once. Like, I can score on Damien. But like I said, it's just, I do good with these people, but the level of good has not changed.
Yeah.
And it bothers me. And they're also progressing at the same time I'm progressing.
They are progressing. So and I feel like with Ant, it's a good example, I guess, because you said you went from being capable of scoring and submitting to not being able to
not
pass.
As much. No.
So I think that's beautiful. I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I
have the same exact things with my training partners that I train consistently with. I have the same. I think it's harder for someone like Nikki Rod to relate to something like this, or Nikki Ryan to relate to something like this, because they're just so fucking good. Yeah, they're so good.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So it's like you ask them a question like, I can't fucking pass this guy's guard. He's too strong. He's too flexible. And like, oh well, actually, all you have to do is this. Well, I can't fucking move his leg.
That's what Nikki Rod told me today. I told him,
and they are right. They are right to an extent.
Yes,
right.
Yes, they are.
But it's just like, it's fucking hard.
Yeah, it's frustrating. That's what I told Nikki today. He was, we were talking. I was just frustrated. He's like, what was? Because I got pissed off today going with Ant, and I kind of I slapped my hands to kind of just try and anchor myself back into the round, the last minute. And Nikki kind of made fun of me for that.
Nikki Rod,
yeah. And he's like, oh, you can't show emotion, like no matter how frustrated you're getting about, which he's right. But he started helping me.
He said the same thing to me yesterday.
Yeah. He brought up your name. He brought up my Pookie Bear. I was like, hey, you don't gotta bring my Pookie Bear into this.
Yesterday was fucking rough.
Yeah, that's what he said. He was like,
yesterday was the first day I ever broke.
Really? Yeah. That was my day today. But he told me, he's like, maybe you're doing the wrong thing. And I was like, dare I say this, but I don't think I am. Like, I've been here long enough and I've worked with y'all long enough where a lot of what I'm trying to do is the correct move. It is the right thing. But kind of like what you're saying, I just can't fucking move his arm.
Yeah.
Like, hit a rowel drag. I try. He doesn't move.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, not, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not there. Or
he's not giving me that reaction.
Specifically with Ant, it's his butterfly half.
Yeah.
He's so good at his butterfly half, dude.
Yeah.
And what Nikki Rod was telling me to do is what I try and do, and what I also think is the correct way to do it. But like getting his foot to the outside to get back to my camping. Yeah. But I just can't get the foot to the outside.
Nikki Rod is someone that is very good at doing shit like that. He's very good at getting the hip, getting the foot to the outside.
All right, Nikki Rod told me, let me try it. I'm just like,
why isn't it moving, Nikki Rod?
I'll try using my elbow. I'll try sprawling. I'm like, what the fuck? And so then I only have a limited amount of time because I'll start moving it. Now my arm's getting snatched up. I'm just like, what the fuck shit, dude? What do I do?
Yeah.
Dude, Ant grabbed me. It's like vice grips my damn wrist. I'm like, I got to spend 5 minutes to try to get this dude off my wrist.
Yeah.
Let alone even deal with the butterfly half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Dude,
it's frustrating. That's the way it is, brother. It's beautiful.
And then that's when I told myself, I was about to just leave practice. I was like, I'm about to. Once practice was over, I normally stick around, chat with the boys and kind of just relax and cool down. I was like, I'm fucking out of here.
Yeah.
But then you gotta take a step back and you're like, man, just be glad you're here.
Yeah.
Just be glad you're here. You know what I mean? Like, we're all dying at the end of the day. Fucking no one's gonna care what belt you are or who you beat at the end of the day. You're gonna be some 95-year-old fucking old fart. Like, just be grateful that you're out here banging and scrapping with the best guys in the world every week.
Yeah.
And then, so then I thought about that. I was like, you know what? I'll let it drop and then come the next day and just so I was getting pissed off, man.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean,
it's these specific people too. Everyone else, I'm just fucking hitting my shit, bang bang. Other high level guys in the room, I'm hitting my shit, but it's just these guys.
This is why I think it's beautiful though, and it's almost perfect. You're saying you're hitting your shit, on these guys fucking whenever you want on cue, right? And it's working out well, right? But then with the guys that you can't do these things on, right? So say it's Ethan and Ann, these are your main training partners, or you train with them most often, and fuck, I can't, this is my shit. Why can't I hit it on this guy?
Yeah.
And that is the cause of constant progression in jiu-jitsu.
That's true.
He gives you a problem, you have to solve it. If you can't do your shit, now you have to fucking progress. You're forced to
find a new way.
Fuck, I can't route drag. Okay, let me start passing to the outside.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I can't pass outside. Let me start high stepping. You are forced to figure out that puzzle, or you will stay in that same fucking position for the rest of your fucking competitive career.
I agree.
And that is why it's so fucking beautiful.
Yeah, that's why at the end of the day I can sit there and be grateful for the room I'm in, because I'm like, man, if I wasn't in one of the best gyms in the world, I wouldn't be having this problem.
Yeah,
right?
I wouldn't be frustrated.
Yeah. Everything would be perfect.
Yep.
Every practice would be so.
Sick.
I'm so good.
I strangle everyone fucking 10 times. Yeah.
And so that's what grounds me, is that thought of knowing like, hey, I'm getting better. You know, I'm getting better. But then I sit there, I'm like, it's been two and a half fucking years. Can I pass the guard? Like, come on, brother. Like, today, can you get past a mortal man's legs that he's on the ground curled up like a damn fucking roly-poly bug, and I can't get past his legs?
Yep.
How am I supposed to conquer the world? I can't even get past this guy's legs. Dude.
Oh man, that is hilarious.
Yep.
That is hilarious. This is the game we play, brother.
Yep.
It is the game we play.
That's right.
Yeah, I yesterday I got pretty emotional.
What was your story? Your
I just had a rough session, and I feel like I've had a not the best camp, and I'm leading up to this this competition, so it's like, okay, I should be peaking, and then I have a terrible session. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I should be progressing. I should be feeling good after I train. And I'm aware that, not every day, not every session is going to be fucking perfect. I'm well aware of this. Honestly, some of my best performances, I've had a lot of issues throughout my camp. So that gives me a lot of faith in myself, as well as just following my own faith. Yeah, I just had a rough session. I was frustrated. I thought I was done, and then Nicky Rod's like, "Hey, we're gonna run you through some positional training at the end." I just did 45 minutes of training, and I was like, "Fuck, okay, let's do this." Obviously, I'm never gonna turn anything like this down. And we've done stuff like this before. I'm not new to it, and I have gone through these situations before. I've done all these things before, and I've wanted to. I've been on the verge of tears. I've taken time to myself in between these positional rounds, and just lay there with my eyes closed. Don't cry, you fucking bitch. Get fucking better. Do the position. Try fucking harder. All this. And it was just a culmination of everything that's been going on throughout the camp. That yesterday I went through this. We go through the positions, and then we do, JB's like, Nicky Rod's like, okay, now lay on your side, and JB's going to lock up a fully locked arse on you, and you're going to escape. And I'm like, okay.
No, I'm not.
Okay. I was like, okay. JB locks it up. Obviously, I tap within 5 seconds. And then he's like, okay, do the other side. And I'm like, okay, let's do the other side. I'm going to get out this time. I was so confident. So confident. I was like, we're going to get out this time. JB, not that he never, but we've done a lot of front head stuff throughout this camp, and he never submits me.
Yeah.
Never submits me. There was a day where I was deathly ill and I couldn't fucking breathe, and I think he submitted me once or twice in a front head situation, but aside from that, I am I would like to say I'm pretty hard to submit from the front head position. Fingers crossed. But JB locks up the darts on the other side, submits me within 5 seconds, and I knew Nicky Rod wasn't done. I stood up. I was like, I'm done. I ripped my rash guard off. I took a sip of water. I just walked away. And that was the first time I broke, and I fucking hate myself for that. I think that was so gay.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to. I haven't gotten to. I live with Nick. I haven't gotten to apologize to him. I was like, I really want to apologize to this.
For just walking out.
Just walking out. This is fucking gay. So gay. Getting emotional. I've literally never ever done that ever in any of my training. As I was walking away, he said, "You can't let your," just something about emotions. And I obviously I know he's right, but it's just fucking.
Yeah, at the time you shrug it off like.
It's just fucking. I said yeah as I held back tears and just walked away. It was rough.
Yeah,
it was rough.
It's so interesting though when it's like.
Today I felt great.
Yeah, you got next to it.
Came back, listened to some music on the way to the training. Had a great session. Didn't wear long sleeve rash guard, so I didn't get fucking arm barred. I had a great day. It was great. Yeah. Fucking, I was like, oh wow, I'm actually kind of good at jiu-jitsu. Wow.
Isn't it weird to think that people like you and I and other people who are like us, like Nicky Rod, people like that, are blessed in a way to have just a mind that is always trying to problem solve. It's you know what I mean? Because like so many people just deal with problems and it's insane. Like, oh, I gotta smoke weed. I gotta do something to kind of hide or kind of cover,
escape.
Not just. I just use weed as an example, but I mean just anything, right?
Yeah.
Like I need to go punch holes in my wall because I can't deal with what I'm dealing with. But someone like people who are related to us, so you punch holes in your wall and you're like, okay, how can I not do this ever again? Or how can I not break like this ever again? Yeah. Instead of thinking of a way of like, how can I fix this? It's how can I cope with this? Yeah. Those are two different things, right? It's like, how can I fix this compared to how can I cope with it? How can you cope with something? If you're having to cope with something, then that something should not be a thing. It needs to be fixed.
Yes. So right? How would you go about this?
Just by fixing your problems? Yeah.
It's kind of a vague thing because it varies problem.
Yeah, it's just going to have to be. A lot of it is just who you surround yourself with. It's a big part of it, man. You know, if you're around people when you complain about something, this is why I think some men shouldn't go to women for some of their problems. A lot of men's problems need to be addressed by another man. It's because if you go to a woman for your problems, you're going to get an emotional response back. It's going to be a coping response, right? It's like, in your case, right? I fucking, my front headlock defense sucked today, blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh, okay, well, like, you want to go get some sweets tonight? Like, you need something to feel better? It's like, no, I want to fucking not get some in front headlock.
Help me with my Dawgs defense.
Yeah. So it's like their response is going to be a coping version, how to cope with what's happened. Yeah. Where if you're around the right guys, they're going to instantly be like, so what's pissing you off? This. All right, let's fix that. Yeah. Right? So I think it's a lot of who you hang around yourself with, if they're problem solvers or if they're copers. That's a big part of it. And I don't know, man. It's just I'd have to get back to you on that one. I don't know the answer to it, of just why or how to be that way. I think it's going to be more. It's going to have to be more than just an easy, one sentence answer.
As you were talking about how we handle these things, you went off a different way than I expected you to. Mm-hmm. But the first thing that came to my mind was you were talking about how we kind of cope and deal with these things, whatever. And it made me think of, okay, we're here talking about these things.
Mm-hmm.
When have you ever seen Nicky Rod with a talk about an injury? When have you ever seen Nicky Rod talk about anything negative?
I see what you're going into. You're going into maybe
He's just beyond.
Yeah.
Like beyond
just even talking about it.
Well, I don't know if it's. I wouldn't say it's necessarily healthy or anything.
You don't know what conversations he's having with God.
Yeah, it could be his faith entirely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He'd be having the same conversations.
But
with the big man.
There's people that have these conversations and also have these conversations with other people as well. So it's like, okay, why not?
Well,
why not?
I think the answer is going to be: are you having the right conversations? Right. If you're like today was a right conversation to have.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It was I felt this way because of this. I regret it. I'm gonna do my best not to let it happen again. Problem was solved in 20 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
Assuming it wasn't already solved.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like I think that's how some people need to kind of work, which it's hard. We sit here and we say all this stuff,
hard.
but it's something that me personally, that's something I have to, that's why sometimes at the end of the day I'm so exhausted, because it's like I have to put energy into always reminding myself to be this way every freaking day, right? Like kind of what you said when I was kind of getting frustrated today and getting pissed off, blah blah. It's like it took energy to be like, shut up, calm down. Yeah, it took energy to do that, right? Because it's just because your body and your emotions are telling you to act one way, but your divine brain and logical thinking and your stud mind you have up here is telling you to be another thing. So you have two forces clashing. Who's going to win? Yeah, you know what I mean. So that whole who's going to win battle is exhausting because you're sitting there fighting it like. Yeah. So, like you said, it's that is a good problem to have because it's showing that you are always acknowledging you're always acknowledging trying to be a better version of yourself. Yeah. That's what that shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you didn't care, then there would be no battle. There would be no regret. There would be no none of
progress.
That. None of that. It'd be like, oh, well, I suck. Let me go go get drunk tonight and forget about it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of people just, to each his own at the end of the day. It is kind of vague with jiu-jitsu because there are a lot of people that do jiu-jitsu for fun more than... like MMA. Not everyone's just out here striking. No.
But that is then replaced with something else that maybe even you and I can't relate to is, there's someone else who could be dealing with the same type of problem we're dealing with, but it's like with their kids or it's with their wife. And it's like we won't know how that feels until we come. But I'm hoping because of all the practice, we're constantly we do the smallest thing wrong. It's like, oh fuck, I gotta get better at that. Yeah. It's like, shit, my protein powder isn't healthy enough. Gotta get some better.
Guys, this guy's got 60 ingredient protein powder.
I've been using AF.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually drank an AF protein before I came here. Shout out AF. Yeah. Yeah. But
AF, ATH. Good supplements.
So I'm hoping only stuff. Because we're like that with everything now. I'm hoping that I'm going to be that way with every challenge I come across with. It does my whole life.
It does eventually trickle into everything else if you stay consistent enough with that type of lifestyle. Like I remember I was I kind of stopped now just because I've been in camp, but especially when I travel and stuff, I'll have like a list of shit to do every day. And we talked about this before and you were like, oh, isn't that kind of like, do you ever get scared or concerned with that saying, like knowing, or your concern was about knowing everything that I'm doing. But, I don't do it every day now. But just writing a list of, okay, breakfast, train, bogey. And then fucking film podcast.
Yeah.
Do this. Work out. But yeah, writing a list. I forget where I was going with that, but writing a list.
Yeah.
Consistency in lifestyle. That kind of leached over to everything. Like I was just writing to-do lists with little things, and then it became like a daily thing. And that kind of...
See, I think being consistent can be a problem if you're consistently sucking.
I see.
Which is what I ran into today.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, for 10 minutes straight, I have consistently sucked.
Yeah, I've consistently not gotten
I've
anywhere
scored.
near passes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was just making a joke. But
yeah, I mean, it's jiu-jitsu is hard.
Dude,
Jiu-jitsu is hard.
You just combat sports. It's the best thing you can do. Dude, it's the best thing you can do is a combat sport. There is nothing like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I was saying with it being more common in jiu-jitsu, where there's a lot of people that have lives. They have work and everything, and
yep.
And then they can go do jiu-jitsu, whereas a lot of people that you don't see that as much casual people training striking and stuff like that as much. Not that it's realistic or anything, but yeah, I think jiu-jitsu is one of the best outlets. It's most definitely the most common, but it's there's nothing like it.
It just a combat sport will solve. I hate to sound like this person. I'm not saying this because I have a gym opening up soon, but it'll solve like half your freaking problems as an adult or a child. And what I mean by that is like a lot of people's problems stem from lack of confidence. If you're an insecure person, brother, that's going to be a domino effect in almost everything in your life. It's going to affect you getting a girlfriend. It's going to affect you getting the job you deserve. It's going to affect you getting in shape the way you want to be. All that will be affected just because you're insecure. And the second you do something, ooh, I can hit a tennis ball better than someone. No one gives a shit. No one gives a shit about that.
Yeah.
Right? But once you start to prove to yourself like, oh, I can handle myself against another grown-ass man.
Yeah.
You know what
He's
I mean?
confident.
You feel a little different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
sure.
then you got the confidence to go talk to the girl. You have the confidence to go do that. Blah, blah. Next thing you know, your life is kind of just...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I always make fun of... Did you ever get pinned in high school?
I think twice.
Twice? I always make... like a few weeks ago, I was talking to Brady on the phone, or no, on Xbox party, and I was
remember that one time he got pinned.
I said, "How does it make you feel that you let a 14-year-old scrawny ass kid hold you on your back and you couldn't move?"
Oh,
like,
man.
you put it that way, it's like, man, that's the most humbling thing. Like, yeah, I let some other dude grab. We started on our feet, by the way. We started on our damn feet.
Oh my
and
God.
if you just put the screen black and fast forward a minute, this dude's holding me on my back and I can't move. Dude, that is embarrassing.
Oh my God.
And so I'll always, like, every once in a while, I'll tell them, like, how does it make you feel that you let some other 120-pound freshman in high school hold your ass down?
He was wrestling 120?
Yeah, he was light in high school.
Wow.
I think his senior year he wrestled 132. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Small.
Yeah.
I was 126 my freshman year, and then I was 170 my senior year.
Mm-hmm. So I'll ask you the same question. How does that make you feel, knowing that there's a dude walking alive right now that grabbed JayRod in his feet, put him on the ground, held him on his back to the point where you could not move long enough to where the ref just goes, the match is over.
I got 2 or 3 things to say to this, brother.
Yeah. Just see a tear.
There was a massive age and skill difference in my first pin loss.
Okay. So you let a grown man molest you.
Some would say.
Some would say.
He was a senior. I was a freshman.
Oof.
I don't know how this guy was making 126, but he was.
Yep.
And I'll never forget. My coach was terrible. The one coach was terrible.
Yeah.
I'm the fucking man. I'm the kid that goes out there and I fucking scrap and I win every fucking time. And it's my freshman year, but obviously I've got some matches under my belt at this point, so we've got a routine and everything. And I'll never forget. I don't know who this kid is or anything, right? But normally my coach says something positive, and I go on, get out there, brother.
Get out there, boy.
And then this time he's like, "Hey, have fun." And I was like,
"What is that supposed to mean?"
"What do you mean?" And then I got pinned.
Oh God!
In like 2 minutes or something like that.
Damn.
That hurt. That was so God. Why would anyone say that to their student?
Yeah. Instantly mind
Just completely switched my
right
thought
before you're about to
process.
go out, you're like, wait, what?
Who am I wrestling?
Who am I wrestling?
My second match, or my second pin loss, I will say this is an excuse. I got stuck. There was no technique behind this. There was nothing. I was absolutely better than that kid.
Yeah.
I just got stuck.
That's funny because
Hurts.
I got pinned exactly 2 times.
Really?
Yeah, exactly 2 times in high school.
In high school?
Yeah.
How so?
Both times were I was winning the match. One was at my first time ever going to Beast of the East, which is a big national tournament. I was winning 4-2 and got headlocked right to my back. Yeah, that one was like, fuck. Very, very good headlock. The second time was by far worse. I was a 3-time All-American at a tournament called Prep Nationals, which if you don't know, All-American means you just place top 8 at brackets that have like 200 freaking kids in it.
That's crazy, yeah.
I should have been 4. I should have been a 4-time All-American, and it was in the blood rounds. I was winning 8-2. 8-2 in the third period, and I get thrown to my back and pinned.
What was the throw?
I think it was a headlock.
Oh man.
Yep, the same thing. It was just getting lazy in my shot, bailing as I'm coming up, just. And I remember getting pinned and just being so pissed with my junior year. I was so pissed. I walked out the building. This was in Lehigh, Pennsylvania. Walked out the building, and I sat out in the snow for about 3.5 hours in my singlet. I'm sitting in the snow. My ass is in the snow. And I'm just sitting there. And about 1.5 hours in, I start shivering. I didn't give a shit. I started shivering. I'm just like, I might go back in there. And I just sat there just shivering for like the last hour, just because I just didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I was like, I was so embarrassed. I didn't want to go back in the building.
Yeah. I was like, where's Draw?
Yeah, dude. People were calling my phone. It was such a freaking... Now looking back on it, I'm like, God, you want to talk about an attention whore? Like, brother, just get your shit, get on the bus, go home.
Yeah.
Like, get on the bus. But there's other teammates still competing, so we weren't leaving for another like 5 hours.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'm just going to go sit outside.
Yeah.
I did not take losing very well at all for a big portion of my wrestling career.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to cry.
Yeah.
After some of my matches. I did pretty well. I think I stopped crying in middle school.
I did pretty well. I stopped crying yesterday.
I think I stopped crying once I got into high school, I believe.
Yeah.
And then I was perfectly fine all the way up until that second pin.
Really?
That second pin, it was for the first round of states, and I was the number 4 seed, and I was undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk out on the mats, take this kid down. I'm like, oh, fuck, we're in, brother.
Mm-hmm.
I let him go. I'm like, all right, come here, brother. Let me take you down again.
Come here, brother.
Catches me. And I got up.
Yeah, what'd you do? Did you go out the building? Did you throw anything?
I got up and grabbed all my stuff and I sprinted. We were on it's an 8 mat section. I grab all my shit. I'm on one end and I sprint to the other end, and then I just find a dark room where no one else is, and I just sat there and cried.
There was one time Brady lost in the finals of this pretty big tournament, and actually I lost too that year. Oh God, now I'm reliving that match. I'm pissed off. I'm like, but yeah, I forgot I lost to that dude. What the fuck? But Brady storms off the mat after he loses, and I'm carrying his stuff for him, kind of just following him back, and he's like obviously pissed and kind of looking to release his anger somehow, and he freaking kicks a wall, and his leg goes through the wall. We're like in this back gymnasium. This is like goes completely through. He's just like instantly forgets about the match. He's like, oh shit. He pulls it out. I'm looking around, just like no one saw, you know. So we just walk away, and about 40 minutes later, intercom comes over the intercom of the gymnasium. Yeah. They're like, hey, coaches, can you ask around about like any of your wrestlers? We found a hole in the wall, blah, blah. And me and Brady's like,
did they find
what an idiot whoever would do that. No, I never found out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that specifically sticks in my head.
Fuck, that is hilarious.
Yeah. And I'm over here just like, man, why are you so mad, bro? I go lose. I'm like, do the same thing.
There's two walls right next to each other.
Two walls next to each other. Oh God. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. I stopped crying in middle school, but then high school just became like anger, because like you gonna get off the mat, you're grabbing your shit, you before you're off the mat for 3 seconds, you're already getting texts from my dad.
Oh, fuck.
I drove 8 hours. I'm like, yeah, I get it. yeah, you know, I know the deal. And then this is the 3 stages you go through after losing a big wrestling match. You're pissed off at yourself. You grab your shit. Somehow you're missing a shoe, so you'll worry about that later. Before I can exit the room, I hear my phone buzzing. Already know what that is. And then to top it all off, you have the person come by and go, hey, you did good. And then that's the last one. Was like, no. Stop talking to me.
Leave.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
That's always the cherry on top. You're like, no, man, you did good. I'm like, I got tech phone. Where is... What's good in that, dog? Oh my God. I'd rather you tell me I looked horrible.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And so those are the 3 stages you go to. And then the 4th one is just isolation for 3 hours.
Yes. Yeah. I was going to say suicide. Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Fucking hitting holes through walls.
Looking back, and then now, I think I got pissed off after my first jiu-jitsu match I ever lost. And then after that, it hasn't really bothered me as much anymore. I'm more so it went from being crying and emotional in middle school to being angry and frustrated in high school to now in jiu-jitsu, I'm just straight up just disappointed. You know what I mean? It's literally just like a, damn.
What is the change? What causes that? Is it just maturing?
I guess it's just maturing.
Because you see that so often where it's like, okay, these kids are crying in middle school.
Yep. And you see the anger, the temper tantrums in high school. Then you get into college and world-class level, and they're more just... You can tell they're just disappointed in themselves, but they're not like super emotional about it. Yeah.
Maybe it's just experience, maybe. Or as well as maturing, of course.
Yeah, I'd actually, that'd be an interesting topic for me to go back and think about why that's the case, but I don't know.
For another day.
For another day.
How long have we been going? I feel like this was
pretty long one.
Hour 17.
Oh, 17. Okay. Perfect.
All right. Well, as always, Collie Buds, they have been supporting us from the beginning of our podcast. Please support them by purchasing their Collie Buds magnets for your ears. Whenever you get cauliflower ear, drain that sucker, put the magnets on, you'll be good to go. No more chicken nugget ears for you.
My bike should be back by the time you're back.
Sweet. So we can film that, and we'll be set. We can have some sort of progression on that. Sick. More content for you guys coming very soon.
Yep.
What else is going on? Yeah, I guess my competition would be passed by then. So hopefully it was a great performance. Comment down below what you guys thought of my match. And yeah, is there anything else?
That's it. I hope some sort of conversation today helped in some way.
Yes.
It did me.
Yeah, I had a good time. This was good. All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning into the Dawg House Podcast. Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Peace.